What's up everybody, it's Untitled Chapter, and today we're going to be making another Demon Slayer video, but today I want to focus in more how to land your parries more effectively. So the parry in this game is a very unique tool that legitimately separates the people who play the game and the people who are good at the game. But in this video I'm going to show you a couple of tips and tricks on how to actually land the parry more effectively, or at least give you a better shot at landing the parry. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe, and make sure to tell me what else you want me to talk about from this game. But without further ado, let's get started.
Where did you...
So the first thing we're going to talk about is not actually the tips and tricks, but it's actually just the fundamental of performing the parry. You want to actually start practicing and make sure you get familiarized with the parry mechanic. Like, just go into practice mode a couple of times and just get a feel for the actual parry. Just a reminder, if you are ever confused about how to perform the parry, you can just go press start in training mode and go to command list and go scroll down all the way to parry, and it shows you how to perform the parry. Now in the command list, it says tilt your left analog stick and press the block button. Now I don't know why in Storm games it says tilt, but a better way to understand this is to flick. You want to flick your left analog stick and press the block button at the exact same time. Just flick in any direction and it should perform the parry. Just practice this mechanic a couple of times and then you should get it down packed. But now that we talked about that, now we can actually start maneuvering on into the actual tips and tricks. The first way I got for you guys to land your parry is parry after a push block. So this is probably one of the most basic ways of getting a parry, and this is legit just whenever the opponent hits your guard and you push block them back and they're still trying to come at you, then you can parry. So this will most of the time get you probably like a 100 or a 90% rate of actually landing your push block if it's on an aggressive opponent. So if you're facing against an Inosuke or a Rengoku or a Giyu who constantly likes to go in, then you may want to start doing your push block right after, doing your push block and then doing a parry. The second way to actually get off the parry is after a dash. So this is literally just waiting for the opponent to dash at you at mid-range and then you parry them at a certain time. So because of the input delay in Demon Slayer in general, like in the online, it's very hard to time the parry, so sometimes you may mistime it a bit, but here's the easy way on knowing when to counter when the opponent dashes. When the opponent dashes, you should see like a lot of blue effect go around them. When you see that blue effect, that's when you want to counter. Like, you should see like them going all blue just for a little bit, and then they start running at you. When you see that blue, that's when you normally want to counter. And majority of the time at mid-range it will hit, because a lot of people are not expecting you to counter at mid-range and counter it perfectly. But if you look for that initial blue aura around them before they dodge, then you counter. Now this tip of looking for the blue aura at close range is not recommended. And honestly, countering their dash at close range is also not recommended either, because the dash at close range is very risky. I mean, you still can do it, but I don't recommend you do it, especially with multiple characters having different speeds. But the perfect way to counter an opponent's dash is to literally wait at mid-range, wait for them to dash at you, look for that blue aura, and then when you see that blue aura, just parry, and then it should hit that parry. So this is actually a little bit of an advanced one, but the third way on how to land your parry is actually just waiting, like getting really close to them right before the match starts, and then just parrying. Like right when the match starts, where it says ready, begin, and then you can just instant parry. So this usually works on majority of advanced players and low rank players, just because a lot of people don't see you parrying at the very start of the match. Now this is kind of hard to do because you're gonna have to parry instantaneously after the announcer says ready. But if you do, you can legit just get off a free escape. They have to escape, and then you can charge at them with your support, and you can basically get a lot of momentum just from that start of the fight. The fourth way on how to land the parry more easy is when they get up off the ground. So usually you can tell whenever your opponent is very aggressive and when they're trying to get to you. So let's say you do a normal combo and it puts them down the ground and they roll towards you. That is a good indicator that they are going to attack you. Now this is a bit risky because you don't really know, but most of the time they are. So I would say most likely they are going to hit you. So whenever they roll on the ground towards you, or they roll towards you, you want to parry immediately afterwards. Because most of the time in advance, when you legit play against a lot of characters like Hinokami Tanjiro, Giyu, Rengoku, they like to throw out and wake up with special moves. And the last tip I got for you guys is baiting your opponent with your moves. So this tip is probably the most advanced out of all the tips I got for you guys. And this is basically because you have to fully know your character and know, you basically have to know how safe are you after the move if it misses. So let me show you guys an example. So as you see here, I got Nezuko right here. So if I do Nezuko's skill 2, which is Heel Bash, if it actually hit an opponent's guard, I will be punished super hard because it has a lot of lag. But if I use it right in the middle of the open, I can actually just parry like right after, like right there. I can parry it right after the move is over. This is very good for baiting an opponent's escape because it looks like I am in a lot of lag, but they don't know that. So if I just use a random move just like this, they dash in, I see the little blue aura around their dash, I see the charging in, I'm gonna do a parry. Majority of the characters have these type of moves where they can just throw out a move and they're completely safe afterwards. Here's Tanjiro's right here. You got Water Wheel. Water was a little bit harder to do. It's a little bit laggy afterwards, but you can still do it. But Waterfall Basin is actually really easy to do it on. But you got some moves that have too much lag regardless if you hit an opponent's block or not. Like for example, the 6th form Water Wheel. This has too much lag afterwards that I can't even do anything. It's not even worth doing it. So this takes a lot of mastery over your character. But if you know your character, you can get a lot of easy parries off. So those are all my tips and tricks on how to land the parry or increase your chances of landing the parry. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about what happens if you miss the parry, because I think this is where a lot of people don't anticipate what to do afterwards if you end up missing it. So one of the options you can do after you miss the parry is swap to a different character. If you automatically hold the L1 button down already, you can instantly swap after your parry misses. This is actually an insanely good option to do because let's say you miss the parry, the opponent dashes at you, the opponent hits the first character, but because you already swapped, you are now the second character, which means you don't get hurt because they're still hitting Inosuke and not Nezuko. This is a very good option after your parry misses. The next one is a charged heavy attack. So let's say you do the heavy attack and you parry right afterwards to bait, but it does not work. The opponent dashes a little bit later, and then you usually do another heavy attack right afterwards, because the heavy attack is actually one of the best defensive and offensive moves in the game because it has super armor. So let's say they screw up, you parry, you can just do a heavy attack right afterwards and they won't ever see that coming, a double heavy attack. But this is actually one of the best moves you can actually do after a parry because, you know, a lot of people are not going to get the parry on the first try, and a lot of people are not going to get the punish on the parry because lag, they mess up, you know, stuff like that always happens. And the last option you can do is probably the easiest option, but it is use a support. You can use the support at the exact same time that you parry. So let's say you do a parry at close range. When the opponent comes at you, you use your support. Your support has the probability of saving you. It depends on the character who you're fighting against. If it's Rui or if it's Inosuke, that support will probably be hit. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to tell me what other topics you want me to cover on this game. My name is 12. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.